Baroness Berger.
To ask the question standing in my name on the order paper.
We understand parents' concerns about the impact of social media on children. We have taken some of the boldest steps globally to ensure online content is genuinely age appropriate. It's important we protect children while also letting them benefit safely from the digital world. We're closely monitoring Australia's approach to age restrictions. When it comes to children's safety, nothing is off the table, but any action must be based on robust evidence.
My Lords, our children and young people are living through an experiment imposed on them by platforms that are profiting off their stress, their lack of sleep and their diminished self-worth. I welcome the Australian Government for taking action to address the urgency and gravity of this issue, and I listen closely to my noble friend the Minister. The impact on teenagers in this country is getting worse, not improving. Will the UK follow Australia, Norway, Denmark, Malaysia and the EU and do the same and impose the ban on under-16s?
We are taking serious action here in the UK through the Online Safety Act. And we are also looking very carefully at the evidence that is available for the impacts of social media, screen time, media use and children's development. At the moment, we do not see a causal relationship between screen time, social media use and children's development, but we are committed to improving this evidence base, and we are looking very closely at what other countries are doing, and particularly Australia, with whom we have an MOU.
My Lords, it's that 16-year-olds shouldn't see certain access. The noble lady Baroness Berger, if I understand, thinks that they should be banned from social media. Can I take it as read that both noble ladies will oppose 16-year-olds having the vote?
I don't follow that logic at all. Just coming back, I think that the issue of online content and what the fact that people have different views and are trying to balance the potential benefit that children can have from accessing the digital world with trying to protect them from the harms that they also see is exactly what join many together around this House and exactly what we're trying to navigate through the Online Safety Bill.
My Lords, the social media ban on under-16s in Australia is well-intentioned, but it's not the right solution to protect children from harms. Does the noble lady, the Minister, agree with the Molly Russell Foundation that the ban risks creating a cliff edge for young people who at 16 will suddenly be exposed to a poorly regulated online space? Would she agree that there should be strengthened regulation on social media platforms so they are safe for children rather than excluding them altogether?
I think the noble lord makes a really good point, and one I was trying to make not as eloquently earlier, which is that there are good reasons for children to be online. The children of all ages can benefit from being online, but there also need to be appropriate protections in place, and protections which do not lead to unintended consequences. So the approach that we have, which we're putting in step by step, and backing Ofcom to enforce against that, I think is the right one at this stage. But we are looking very carefully at the evidence as it emerges. We are looking very carefully at other countries' experience. And we are not taking things off the table if the evidence leads us in that direction.
What steps they are taking to ensure that parental controls and education initiatives are keeping pace with the ever-evolving risks that social media pose to our young people right now?
Well, the role of parents and the role of media literacy is, of course, a very critical one. And indeed, as technology evolves, as access changes, and the department is going to be supporting parents and carers with media literacy from next year, and with some pilot projects to support families navigate the online space, particularly in critical thinking and in trying to understand misinformation, disinformation and so on. We're also working very closely with the Department for Education to establish some parental support and some parental hubs in order to support parents making those sometimes having some of those quite difficult conversations.
The Noble Lady, the Minister, talked about support for parents. Last week, the Centre for Social Justice released new analysis showing almost 1 million preschool children are active on social media, something that even the platforms, I would say, don't think is appropriate. And that number is rising rapidly. What work is the government doing with platforms, Ofcom and parents and carers specifically to support those who care for preschool children, 0 to 5-year-olds, navigate this online world?
As I was mentioning before, we do think it is incredibly important to support parents navigate and support them having the right, being able to support their children's access to the online world. I mentioned the pilot awareness campaign, which is more targeted at 8 to 14-year-olds, but the resources that will be available with the Department for Education, I believe, are more extended. And we also support Ofcom's updated media literacy duties under the Online Safety Act. And as part of that, Ofcom is delivering a 3-year media literacy strategy that prioritises support for children and families.
My Lords, in a lecture that... My Lords, in a lecture that Dr. Vivek Murthy, the Lord Speaker's lecture that was given by Dr. Vivek Murthy, the US Surgeon General, quoted the evidence of the mental health effect on children, particularly children using social media over 3 hours per day, causing higher degree of depression and anxiety as one of the evidence why there should be better control for children using any kind of social media.
The Noble Lord cites some important evidence. That evidence and other evidence about the links between social media use, different cohorts of young people, young adults and so on is very important. It is something that the government and Ofcom are looking at very carefully. And as I said before, we continue to keep open all of the issues here in order to protect children from unsafe content whilst allowing them to participate actively in the digital world, which can provide many opportunities to young people and much education.
Screen addiction is a growing problem for all ages, but far more so for children. In July, Peter Kyle, former Secretary of State for DCIT, committed to bringing forward proposals in the autumn to restrict children's screen time. Since the reshuffles, we've not heard any more about these proposals. Can the Noble Lady, the Minister, today clarify this point? Will the government be bringing forward a package along the lines set out by the former Secretary of State?
We are focusing on implementation of the Online Safety Act, protecting children from harmful content, backing Ofcom as they go through the children's risk assessments of the platform operators and ensuring that the duties that came in July are very effective. That is the priority for the time being. As I said earlier, we are looking at the evidence, we are assessing what other measures may be needed, and if we need to do so in due course, we will do so.
I absolutely agree with the Minister that everything needs to be evidence-based, and I agree with that point of view. But can I suggest to the Minister, when she is looking at social media harms to children, that she also looks at AI chatbots, which can make harmful suggestions to children online, and I believe that it is something that the government should take very seriously, and I ask the Minister to look at this very harmful element which is harming our young people.
The Noble Baroness raises the importance of keeping up to speed with technological developments and looking at the potential impacts of those. So many of the AI services are already regulated under the Online Safety Act, including chatbots, and so would form under the sort of purview of the current regime, so that if there is risk of harm to users from illegal content or content that is harmful to children,